Thanks, 3. Hello, everybody. Go away, Rain. We are on the Olympus server today, and I've done a bit of work on the tower. I changed things on that side that I was playing around with. I didn't really like what it was doing. There's too much wood showing. And I've built a couple higher little platforms for me to look around on, but this is kind of what I did instead. It's still got the same shape that it was, except I filled in the open areas with some more stair design. And the edges have this stair design, and I did something by accident. I did this first, so I don't know if you can tell, but the stairs are facing kind of that way. So these stairs should be facing that way, but I accidentally faced them the same way. Well, it's easier to see if I do that. So I don't know which side I actually like better, the left side or the right side. And on the left side I added in some more cobble wall in the kind of blank area. Also, I'm starting to try to work on what the tower shape will be. I don't know if I really like what's going on yet, but let's go up there and take a look. So the idea is it's going to get bigger at the top, and then from here it'll just kind of go straight up for at least this section. So I've got these curves going on. Yeah, we're in the... That's a bug in the current snapshot. Only oak works. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, this bug with the crafting recipes, but it's already been tagged as fixed, so it should be fixed on the next release, whether that's the snapshot or the 1.5 pre-release, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've got these curves, they're all kind of identical, and I just have them starting at various spots. So I don't know right now, and then I started to do this. I don't really like what it's doing though, so I'll probably tear that out. I think that is how I'm going to do this tower, is I'll probably do most of it just off camera. And then I'll bring you guys back in when I've got something to really show you. And bye-bye. So I'm going to leave that for now. Also, I did some work down at the witch farm area, and I wanted to actually change something so we could do that together. So we were working on that sorting system that wasn't really working, and I do have something that is now working. This is actually what I started playing around with initially. I was having a minecart here instead of a line of hoppers, but then I was playing around in creative and I threw in some hoppers instead of the minecart, and it seemed to be working, so that's why I kind of went with that design, because I don't really like having a minecart going back and forth, and I might be able to change it so it doesn't need to be doing that. But essentially, the minecart will grab items from the drop. Let's get back up there, actually. So this is where the witches fall. Anytime there's any items in there, this comparator turns on, and it will turn off this torch, depowering this rail. So that minecart will stop and collect all the drops that are in there, and then once this guy's empty again, meaning everything is in the chest, he'll take off and start going back and forth distributing the items. The downside with this design is that you can't really have an overflow, because the minecart just kind of trickles items in as it goes back and forth. So it usually only drops 1 or 2 items every time it passes. So if you had another slot open that took anything, like an overflow, it would grab all these items as well. So, but this is working. So I've got same filter system as before. I just got dirt. So I got sticks, I got gunpowder and sugar, etc. They go into these chests, and I've got it set up for a fairly large storage system. So 3 double chests plus the single chest for each item. And these are just set up so the items trickle down to the front area here. So here's the front. So yeah, any sticks would go in there, gunpowder, you know, etc., etc. So that's what we've gotten so far from the witch farm. I've taken some stuff out, but I don't think I've taken any gunpowder out. Maybe I took some sugar and redstone. I don't think I've taken any spider eyes, but... And then I've got some lights, indicator lights. This indicator light goes on whenever that minecart is stopped. So if it's being loaded at the underneath that drop or hopper, this light turns on. And that is done simply by taking this signal, oops, taking that same signal from that comparator. So there's the comparator, goes down, turns off that torch, depowers. What does that depower? Does it depower that? Yeah, it's powering that block. Right, okay, depowers that. I also steal the signal from there, and that just goes straight through. Oh, I gotta go check something. Dinner is ready, maybe. Okay, so that goes through there, and behind there is where, oh, wow, let's just fall everywhere. And that is where that light is. The other one, lights just come on whenever an item passes through here, although they don't always come on if the item gets pulled out too quickly. But they also serve the purpose of letting you know when you are on your last chest. So when this chest is being filled up and all the storage below it is full, this light will turn on. That way you know you're kind of running out of room. And I think that's about it. I might be able to set up something so that cart stops over there once it's empty and doesn't start going back and forth again until this thing calls for it. So I might do that. Now I had figured out a different design using droppers instead of the minecart, which I really liked, and I had it working fairly well. Should be right back. Alright, sorry about that. So yeah, I had a system that used a series of droppers pointing to like the left, so items would go into a dropper, and then a bunch of redstone, like basically like a vertical item elevator but horizontal, using droppers instead. The benefit of that is I could control when the items would go from one dropper to the other, and then the filters were still below it, so they would pull the specific item out of the dropper. However, it still kind of works, but it's the only way I can get it to work is it makes ticking sounds, so it's no longer like quiet. And I don't like that. I wanted something like completely quiet. It worked when I built it because of the way hoppers work and their timings. So if you did check out that video in the previous episode, hopper timings are based on a couple things. But once you unload and load the chunk, the timing is based on where the hopper is placed in the world. So it's like XY coordinates, XYZ coordinates. So when I had built the thing, it was working because the timings were based on how I had placed the hoppers. But as soon as I left that area and came back to it, it no longer worked. So the only way I could get it to work was increasing some delays, and that caused the droppers to get kind of dual powered and making that ticking sound. So that is unfortunate. I hope they do something making the timings of these things more kind of reliable so that you don't have to like, I don't know, having to unload an area and reload it to make sure your design actually works where you're building it is kind of silly. And builds should not be dependent on where you build it. You should be able to build the same design anywhere you want and have it still function. But yeah, I don't think we've seen anything drop since I've been here, have we? But yeah, I've been playing around also with some other storage systems such as these, with some indicator lights. Some are tileable like this one, some are like too wide and have a lot more storage, so I'd probably use those for like cobblestone and stuff like that. But I'd probably use like single chests for items you don't really need a lot of, and I probably wouldn't have as many double chests back there either. But this works fairly well for the witch farm, and I'll probably end up tearing it out and moving it. But until then, until I get the tower kind of built, that's the way it's gonna be. Now, I was looking at this, and I don't know why I can easily make this, I can easily take out one repeater, which I don't know why I didn't see. So that's what we're going to do. I don't know if the delay will make this thing work better or worse, but whoa, let's find out. So really, I don't know, yeah, I didn't really need to have it as big as it was. If we just we get rid of that block in between, So before it was powering a block, before it would power the redstone dust, but that wasn't necessary. So if we just make this power redstone dust immediately, and same thing, go down there, that should do the trick. And maybe we can test it out by grabbing a few items. Let's take anything that's over a stack, I guess, and see how this thing works. Ooh, that's a lot. Now, the other problem with this thing is it's pretty slow. Although normally it wouldn't be getting large quantities of items like I'm about to put into it. Normally it would get like one witch at a time kind of thing, or maybe a couple witches, who knows. But putting a lot of things in here will have a longer load time for that minecart to actually get filled up. And the rest of these I'm just going to throw in the minecart to simulate it. Now those sticks just disappeared. I think it's close enough to this that they actually went through. Like, I think he's just barely over top of it. I didn't catch it, but I think that was what happened. Oh, where'd my jump boost go? There it is. So as he's loading up, let's give it a helping hand here. It's going to take a while. And then we'll throw these items in here. So it doesn't handle large quantities of item all that well, because once it does start moving, there it goes. Let's get inside the inventory if we can. You'll see things just kind of slowly trickle out of it as it's going back and forth over top of these droppers, or hoppers. Hoppers? Hoppers. So like gunpowder just went down one, went down again, one. And you can see these guys at work. So when you're up here, sometimes you'll see these lights depending on the hopper timings. If it's quick enough that an item stays in that chest for a second, these guys kind of light up when you're receiving items, which is kind of neat too. And then if the light is on and stays on, that means that the storage is kind of full. But if they're just blinking, that means you have incoming items. And I think all the sticks are there. Yeah, it was just 8 sticks, I think. But yeah, so that's the sorting thing. I wish I could do the dropper version. Now we could do water streams as well and just have it like spit out items. I might set up the dropper one here anyway, actually. It does do the ticking thing, but because this thing wouldn't be running all that often either, the ticking might not be so bad. So maybe we will do that. And I'll show you the redstone involved for that. Because I don't like having a minecart going back and forth. Whee! And we could have overflow in case something bad goes in the system. In case I drop some dirt, or, well, dirt actually would go through because I don't have a proper filler item. I'll have to go rename some things. But yeah, anyway, that is that. So maybe I'll grab some things and we can do a little bit more work on this thing. Alright, so what we're going to do is just tear out this guy. Go away. And take out the rail. Hopefully I don't break anything else. Let's get rid of you. And these shouldn't be able to fall in the droppers. Hoppers. I'm going to get those mixed up like every time. Alright, so we will have droppers going this way on top of these guys. Like so. I might have to clear out some more blocks. Are we going to have enough room? Yeah, we should be okay. I'm going to add in one more hopper that's going to feed into this guy. I can also get rid of that. We might do... I'll worry about that. That's not really applicable anymore because there's no minecart. So the way this works, let's see if it actually works here. We might have to play with the timings here as well. So we have a comparator there going into a block, and then let's see here, and a block there. So I've got this alternating kind of pattern going, or I will. I gotta get some redstone. Luckily, we got some here. All right. So this seems to work. I'll show you what one goes one way, the other one goes the other way. So if we take comparator, powers that block, powers that redstone dust, powers this block into the repeater, powers this block, which will activate that dropper. And then this next one is a little different. If I can remember how I did it. I think it's like that. This one goes comparator. What does this one do? Pretty sure it was a block out for some reason. I don't know if that was necessary. That one does, I think that. And then a repeater here. And then I essentially just have to repeat that pattern over and over again until all of them are done. And the basis of this one is that the droppers will pull the item out faster. No, the hoppers will pull the items out faster. The filters, the ones right below these guys, should pull out the items faster than these guys will pulse. But we might have to increase the delay on this repeater. Unfortunately, if you have to increase it past 1 tick, that is when it becomes noisy and starts making sounds. The clickety click click click. But that's okay in this case. I don't think that will bother us or bother me. At least it'll give kind of an audible cue when there is something coming in anyway. Okay. Did I? Nope, I should have. Anyway. Whoop, let's get the rest of that going. Give me my blocks. Because dirt is so valuable. Comparator. Comparator. Comparator, comparator, comparator. Okay. Blocks on top. Dust. And we need blocks all along here, don't we? With redstone. And then the repeaters. And there we go. And now I need to put these blocks in. Oops. Oh, that's okay. That has to go there anyway. Blocks on top. And repeater. Repeater. And that is it. Right now, any overflow will actually just get spat out there. We'll just shoot it out. Although we could add a chest for that to trickle down into. This looks awfully dark up here, so let's maybe put a torch or two. And maybe I will do that. Let's just throw a chest right here for any overflow. Or if the timing on the system isn't right, then the items will end up over here instead of going down into their respective spots. So, kind of curious why we haven't had any witches die since we've been down here. Okay, let's try it with a few items. Wow, my inventory got full really quick. Let's try it with some gunpowder and maybe some glowstone. Now, I guess we should really try it with everything, but I don't have that much inventory space. Let's throw some things in here. Let's get rid of the dirt, the rail, torches, stairs. Good. Okay. So let's get all of our filter items here. So stick, gunpowder, sugar, glowstone, redstone. Okay, we don't have any sticks. Let's get some sticks. Let's get some spider eyes. And let's get some bottles. And let's see if that works. Yeah, that light's just broken at the moment, so that doesn't mean anything. Hello, puppy. Alright, so now when we might have to do just one more thing. I can't remember if it's necessary or not. We might need to throttle this guy, because he may be able to put items in there faster than things will get shot out. So first, let's just try sticks. Oops. First, let's just try sticks. And since those hoppers have been there, like this has been unloaded as it has, and we haven't removed these guys, the timing on those should be the same. The timing on these I don't think should matter, but we might have to double check that. So they did make it down here, we just weren't in a very good position to see what was going on. So let's try that again. What we will see is there a good place to be? Okay. Yeah, maybe right here. Alright, so throw the sticks in. You can see this is just pulsing. But before it's actually moving the item into the next dropper, it's getting pulled down. So let's try with some glowstone and see where that makes it. Okay, so there we got a problem. It did actually get more than one item into the dropper. Yeah, so there's 9 there. So what we got to do is throttle this guy. And that should be as simple as doing this, I think. And then we're going to cut that off. So what that will do is when that first dropper gets its first item, it's going to power that block, which powers this redstone dust, which powers that block, which disables that hopper. So that hopper won't be able to put another item in. So that'll basically just throttle it, so there should only be one item in at any given time. Let's just see if that actually worked. So yeah, we can see the items going down, and they're stopping there, which should be the glowstone one, so that did work. But let's test them all, because it may not work for all of them. Like, what we should be able to do is just load this up and see what happens. We should see all these lights going on. And if anything makes it into this chest, then we know the timing is off for that particular thing. So here it actually seems to be working, that everything is actually silent, which is nice. And let's get the last item in there, gunpowder. So now we should be getting gunpowder probably. There we go, you can see gunpowder's coming in. And then once it gets to the next item, it should show that as well. Now I don't know if I should do a tutorial for this, if anybody's actually interested, because the problem being is it might not work. Depends on where you build it. That it could work or it could not work, but I'll probably wait till 1.5 regardless to see how the timings end up being. So now we're getting glowstone. So I think I do like this design better than the rail system. It's just not as stable, I guess. It's not as foolproof. Yeah, so alternatively, probably the most simple way is using water streams. You just get the items automatically dropped from the initial one. So you could have that as that pointing directly into a dropper that shoots them into a water stream that has the water flow over top of these filters, and it would work, or it should work. How we doing? But yeah, this seems to be working, which is good. And this is still being throttled. So it's not very fast. It's probably just as actually slow as the rail. Or possibly even slower, because it's only doing like one item. Where the other one was trickling out a few at a time with the actual rail. So what we could do for this indicator light, why don't we make it turn on when there is stuff in this hopper? Because this one will empty out pretty quick, but this one won't. This one is throttled, so if we put our man, that's getting a lot of lag from the redstone and the blinking and the lights. Maybe I don't know if it's from the lighting updates themselves, probably. Good old lighting system. Maybe we can add a bit more light to make it do a little less lighting updates. Can I get in there? Why don't we put some torches here? So a little less block updates, hopefully. Okay. So now let's get back over here. So now we got the comparator coming out of there. Let's get rid of that. So when this is powered, we want this light to turn on. So that should be simple enough. So we'll just take this signal from there. Let's get rid of that. And we could bring it down there. Why don't we use a slab here so we can get the wire through. And we'll just step it down. Oops. Oh, I might need some more dust. I do. Is there still some in the system? No, looks like everything is done. grab a little bit more redstone. Let's see here, 47. Finish that off. Actually, I'll have to put a repeater, won't I? Because that won't give enough signal strength. And I don't want the repeater here, because it will power that guy, disabling it. So we might have to take it to the side, I guess, which kind of sucks. So let's do that, I guess. And then... let's see. I'll have to bring it around, I guess, which is kind of sloppy, but that will work. Or we could... we could point the repeater at this block and power it that way. But for what it's worth, I'll just leave it like that. And then we've got 45 redstone left, so let's throw that in the system. And now that light should turn on. So laggy. What am I on? Do I have video? I am on minimum. I swear the minimum is not better, not the old system. So yeah, now this turns on when there's items in the hopper. And the light is flashing when items are coming in. I don't remember how many I said I had. 45? And I didn't check to see if all the lights did. Again, it's dependent on the hopper timings. If you can look in a chest and actually see the item coming in and leaving, then that should turn on, but sometimes you can't even see it because it's taken out as quickly as it's put in. So that's cool. Maybe we'll do one last test with just a few items. So let's take 8 of each. And then hopefully we can see it, see if all the lights blink or not. Of course, we are limited. I could put some in the bottom hopper and some in the top hopper, I guess. And then I have to go let my puppy out. So I'll have to take a break. 8 and 8. There we go. So we'll do that, and then we'll quickly run over. So if I throw... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then throw some other items in here. Let's see if all the lights turn on. Whoa. Are we lagging? I think we might be lagging. Yeah, we're lagging. Not a good test. Come on, lag. Go away. There we go. We're back. Is it done? Did we miss it all? No, it still has items in it. Okay, gunpowder turns on. Let's see what else turns on. Nothing. We missed it all. Ill-timed lag. Everything's empty. Yep. That's a shame. Okay, maybe I'll try again. Round 2. Now, hopefully we see everything. Okay, so glowstone works. Once that's done, it should go to the next item. Come on. Okay, don't know which one's coming in now. It's the sugar. So yeah, sugar doesn't turn on because it's happening too quickly. Spider eyes works. I didn't really check the order that I threw them in either, so I don't know what should be next. Not redstone. Sticks. Oh, now I'm lagging out again. Oh, well. So yeah, you can see anyway that all these don't actually turn on. Whoa. It all just kind of depends. Well, the redstone's turning on, but yeah, I seem to be lagging quite a bit. Yeah. Alright guys, well, that'll be it for this part. So I'll bring you back. Alright guys, actually I think we're going to call it quits here. I'm still pretty lagged out. And we're about at the half-hour mark anyway. Wow. Yeah, there we go. Alright guys, yeah, I'm having trouble with connect to the server. So we will say goodbye for today, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.